Christian and Muslim leaders in the country have reacted sharply to the 10-day amnesty offer given by the government to youth who have been lured by the Shabaab. Muslim leaders called for an extension of the amnesty period to 1 month, but the National Council of Churches of Kenya say they are surprised by the blanket amnesty given to such youth. Now, KTN's Norton has been following this story, and these reports government has today followed up the amnesty offer with a promise that no one will be victimized after surrendering to the authorities.
It is just hours after the Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Nkaiseri offered a 10-day amnesty to youth who may have been misled into joining the Al-Shabaab. An amnesty that would require them to report to the county commissioners in Nairobi, Mombasa and Garissa counties. Mombasa County Commissioner Nelson Marwa is one of the county commissioners the youth are expected to surrender to. And he says the government issued the amnesty call in good faith, and Kenyans, specifically the youth, have nothing to worry about the program that will involve all stakeholders.
The government is not going to harass them up. We are going to ensure that wamekuwa handled kwa njia nzuri. Halafu wale watasarenda ndani ya kipindi cha siku 10. Hakuna victimization. Even hardcore criminals, wale ambao wanasumbua walete bunduki, zile wanaweka kwa bega, let them come forward. Yeah, wachukue advantage. Amnesty ya His Excellency the President.
The war on terror, he says, will see the government involve all leaders, if only to save the young men and women who may have been radicalized.
So every leader, religious leaders, sheikhs, SUPKEM, KEMNAK, CIPK, bishops, if you want to win this kind of war, you've got to involve everybody.
The Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, on the other hand, has weighed in on the matter. They say the intention of the amnesty may be good, but its implementation may not work. Trust, they say, is the issue.
That the returnees not only surrender to the provincial administrators and security agents, but to also reputable village elders, sheikhs, imams, priests, and officials of human rights organizations.
The Muslim leaders say the amnesty will only be effective if the man in charge of the interior docket extends the amnesty period. That way, they say, the government stands a better chance of getting a big number of youth, some of whom may be beyond the Kenyan borders. But the National Council of Churches of Kenya is not so happy with the amnesty offer.
That the period be raised from 10 days to 30 days. 2, that the amnesty be a true amnesty without victimization.
The amnesty comes just days after the government froze a number of accounts linked to suspected terror supporters. The turn of events has received very divergent views from the Christian leaders on one hand and the Muslim leaders on the other.
Kuna mashekhi wengine wamesimama kidete na watu wanaopinga Al-Shabaab na wakatoa maisha yao wakipambana na hawa. Hatujaiona jambo bofu uliofanywa na washekhi wengine, majina zao zimeongezwa katika hizo majina za wale ilisemekana wanasaidia Al-Shabaab.
Radicalization began in Kenya. Kenyans have not seen any clergy involved in radicalization that SUPKEM and other Muslim religious leaders have denounced and publicized and given to government and said these ones are responsible.
The Christian leaders are also angry with the majority leader, Adan Duale.
We therefore demand that northeastern politicians under the leadership of Adan Duale quickly avail to government the information they have on Garissa massacre and terror networks in the country.
Today is the first day of the 10-day amnesty period given by the Interior Cabinet Secretary, and hope is rife that by the end of it all, young men and women will surrender to their respective offices and begin the rehabilitation program. Not in KTN Prime.